you say it's broken. You make me weak. You're the one I seek. And I hate that I love you. I hate that I love you. If I could, and I would, comfort your heart. Comfort your heart. It's hard to keep smiling when you're closing every door. I'm trying to open. I tell you love you more, and you say it's broken. But it wouldn't mend mine. We've been running from the light, chasing our shadows as we go.
There we go, the microphone's on now. Hey, how's everyone doing today? Welcome to Fury's Kitchen. We're going to be doing another edition of Easy Gamer Cooking. Not going to lie to you guys, I'm a little bit nervous. I haven't done one of these in about a month. So I hope I don't cut my finger real bad or like burn myself or anything like that. Make it look really stupid. I hope it turns out to be a good episode, and I hope you guys are hungry. I know I am. I actually got the oven preheating because that was probably going to be the thing that takes the longest. So I'm going to go ahead and give it another couple minutes to preheat before we go ahead and do anything. But I appreciate you guys stopping by, and I hope you guys say what's up in chat. Oh, I just hit my funny bone really, really hard when I was walking in here. That is not so funny. It's really not. So I gotta recover from that. A little bit of damage though. We'll make it through. I'm a professional. I'll make it happen. Oh man. Just adjusting some levels. I hope everything looks good and sounds good for you guys. I do have another camera set up so that once I get action on the cutting board going, we'll be able to go ahead and get a close-up of that. And same thing when we're cooking on the stove, we'll have a close-up of that. So I'm really excited. Ooh. So back to where I was. Where are you from, buddy? Ooh. Got a piece of hard candy right now trying to stave off the hunger. What are you gonna do though? Sometimes the hunger sets in and all you can do is think about the food you're gonna cook. A little background about myself if you didn't check out my bio below. I have been cooking for 10 years now. Buffalo, New York, I actually opened up a restaurant up there. I went up there for about 3 weeks. South Dakota, that's pretty awesome. I wish I could go to South Dakota. Unfortunately, I can't travel that much. The life of the cook, though. What are you going to do? But no, I opened up a restaurant up there. I was up there for 3 weeks in February, about 3 years ago, maybe 3.5. It was pretty cool. I liked being up there. Longhorn Steakhouse. It was the first one in Buffalo. It was right across from the big mall. Where I forget what the mall is called, but it was huge. It was in Cheektowaga. But yeah, I've been cooking for about 10 years now. Yeah, 10, almost 11 years. I've worked in several different types of restaurants. I've worked in Irish restaurants. I've worked in Italian restaurants, barbecue restaurants, steakhouses. Yep, the Walden Galleria. That's what it's called. See, people have gone to the restaurants that I've worked at. But yeah, it's a fun passion for me. I enjoy sharing my knowledge with you guys, and I enjoy teaching everyone how to cook because it's something I enjoy doing. It's definitely a fun thing. It brings people together, and it definitely, I don't want to say inspiring, but it makes you think, what else can you do with the basic ingredients? I would compare it to like carpentry or something like that. You're taking raw ingredients and you're building it into something, and you're creating something from essentially nothing. People can look at this, a garlic clove, and not know what to do with the garlic clove. And you have the knowledge of what to do with the garlic clove, and you can pass it on and make someone be able to do something that they never thought that they could do. It's really, really fun. We're going to be doing some pork chops today with some marshmallow mashed potatoes with a little bit of a brown sugar glaze. I wouldn't say glaze over top of the crust once we melt everything. It's going to be pretty delicious, I hope. The only thing I don't know is how long the sweet potatoes are going to take because they're pretty big. They're good sized sweet potatoes, about that. So it may take a little bit longer than expected. That's why I have the oven preheated. So if anything, we'll go ahead and I'll do up the sweet potatoes before we really start getting heavy into any other type of cooking, and then we'll wait about 10-15 minutes before we start marinating our pork chops or making up our salsa that's going to go over top. But yeah, it's going to be really easy layered cooking that you can create. It should take, the hardest thing, like I said, the longest thing will be the sweet potatoes. The hardest thing will probably be the cutting aspect of everything, because you just got to be careful when you're playing with knives, because knives are sharp. But yeah, it's going to be tomatoes, garlic, jalapeno, rosemary, a little bit, throw you off throwing that in there, pepper, salt, and red onion. So it's going to be really, really delicious. And then the sweet potatoes. It's going to be kind of a southern throw up on a pork chop dish. I'm trying the salsa out for the first time on top. We're actually going to do the salsa on the side after the marinade. We're going to see the different layers, and we'll probably put some salsa on it and then some salsa on the side to be able to taste everything. And I will be eating it on stream with you guys so that you can see me eating it and see that it is definitely edible, and definitely you can eat it without it being overpowering or anything like that. So the oven says it's 551. We'll wait until 5:53 and we'll cut up the sweet potatoes and get those going. They're not going to be too hard. They're just going to be a little time consuming. So what's your favorite type of food to eat where I was? Mine would probably, I don't know, it's a throw up. I like burgers and I like tacos. And obviously they're the same thing, just different textures and seasonings, but definitely good. About a minute to go before I kick out of the chair and we start cutting up some stuff. We are the music that is currently playing is the NCS playlist, the No Copyright Sound playlist on Twitch. It is free to stream for anyone that streams. So live on fast food. I'm a single guy as well. I just having worked in restaurants, I do go on binges of fast food for a couple days in a row. But when I have the food, I like to cook it myself. So it's definitely nice to be able to cook, but at the same time, when I come home after a 10 or 12 hour day, I don't want to cook up something, so I go and get some fast food because it's way easier and way simpler. I don't really got to worry about anything. That's generally I want to get burgers and tacos. But I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves. Hope the sound levels are good. Let me know if I need to turn the music down a little bit. I think if anything that would be the volume that would need to go down the most out of anything. And I'm sitting here watching the chat spew for the NCS playlist, and it's just making me laugh. People are just typing some really, really random stuff. I don't get it. Go ahead and turn that off since it's not really working. And we'll move on from the other side. Oh, 6:53. It's time to do a little bit of work. Push the chair back. So what we're gonna go ahead and do, let's try it like this first with the cutting board. Like, let me grab everything that we'll need. We'll go over that, and then we'll try working with the cutting board. Ooh, wrapped up in dust. Don't want that. Put that there. We're gonna go ahead and. Oh no, too low. That's good. I like it right there. Actually, the number I was looking for. Turn the webcam on. We have big graphics, and we'll turn this little webcam off for a little bit so that we can see what's going on. So right here we have our half 23.5 by 3.3 times 7 millimeter pan. But the thing is, you can just cut it's a 3x7 or 5 by 2 if you want to go by that. They have the standards on each side, but all we're really going to be doing is using this to cook our sweet potatoes in. We're going to go ahead and cut them up. Wow, tongue tied. And we're going to put them in here, just laying them in so that they cook quicker, because we're just going to layer stuff on top of them after we cut them up. So I have my knife right here. We always want to remember the knife is sharp, so that's why I have it in a knife guard. Take that off, give it a quick rinse, make sure that there isn't any debris, dust, anything on that could have gotten into the knife guard when you put it in there. We're going to take the sweet potatoes and we're going to rinse them off. Now, as you can kind of see, there is a bucket, not a bucket, but a container in my sink that will be used for later on, because you never want to put grease down your sink. And we are going to be dumping and scraping a pan out that has grease in it, and I'll explain why it still has grease in it from when I cooked with it last. But all you gotta do is rinse off your potatoes with some warm water, not too hot, not too cold, nothing too crazy. You're just rinsing off any extra debris, anything like that. Wipe them down so they're not too slick, so that when you are cutting them, they don't roll out of your hands. We're gonna go ahead and bring the camera back over. As you can see, we have our sweet potato. I moved the other sweet potatoes off the cutting board because you always want to have a nice clear cutting board surface, because you don't want to have things rolling around getting in your way when you're playing with the knife. So what we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to just take my knife, put the tip of it into the sweet potato. Mind you, this is a very, very hard vegetable. I think they're vegetables. I don't remember right now. But, so what you want to do is you want to stick your knife in and then press with the back side of your knife, keeping your fingers away, and you're going to use force and leverage to cut through the sweet potato. You're going to trim off the sides of it so that it fits into the pan nice and evenly. You're just going to go ahead, drop it, make a lot of noise so that it hurts your guys' ears, and layer them in there. Now, I'm not exactly sure how many potatoes we're going to be able to get in here. Interesting, I never truly thought this plan through. We might only be getting 2 sweet potatoes in there. But we're going to do the same thing. Knife in, back of hand on the back of the knife, and push all the way through. Cutting the sweet potato in half. Cutting off the edges once again, so you don't have the tips in your way. Just put them into the pan like so. Looks like we're only going to get 3 in here, so we'll save these for later. Maybe I can find another pan and we'll do a double batch. Simply put, you don't really got to do anything with these other than wrap them up with some aluminum foil and put them into the hot oven to bake. Later on, what do I do with my foil? Did I even bring it out yet? No, I didn't bring it out. After we let it bake, we'll end up putting some butter on there, and we'll put the sweet potatoes and the sugar on there after that, so it all caramelizes on and gets nice and delicious. One thing that we're going to do while baking it is halfway through, we're going to take them out and score them with the sharp edge of the knife to allow for them to cook a little bit deeper through and maybe cook quicker. So as stated before, I have the oven preheated to 400 degrees, ready to go, so that when I throw these potatoes in there, they can start cooking once they get up to temperature. And then as you can see on the oven, I have 2 pans once I remove this. So all we're going to do is open the oven. I have my racks staggered, one on the 4th layer and one on the 2nd layer, so that I get even consistent heat throughout. Actually, no, I'm sorry, one's on the 4th and 3rd, because I want the potatoes directly in the middle. And then what we're going to do is we're going to preheat this cast iron pan right here. This is a 12-inch cast iron pan. This is the pan I was talking about that has some grease in it. So all we're going to do is we're going to put it on 1, and we're going to let that bad boy preheat so that the grease gets runny and everything heats up so that we can drain it out. Now you're probably asking, Fury, why do you still have grease in that pan from the last time you cooked with it? Well, with cast iron pans, you don't want to let them get coated you don't want to let them get dry and rusted out. If they get dry and rusted out, then they lose their cooking surface and you'll have to retexture them and reseason. You want your cast iron pans to constantly keep that season and keep that layer, because you're always adding on to that flavor. So what we're going to do while everything's preheated is I'm going to turn off this webcam for a little bit. We're going to go back to having a quick chat and see what you guys think about it so far, and see what, actually ask you guys what you're having for dinner tonight, because I'm definitely intrigued to find out. So where I was, what are you having for dinner today, bud? I know you said you're a fast food guy, but who knows? Maybe this will inspire you to make something easy. For those of you who are just tuning in, I appreciate it. My name is Fury. You have come to Fury's Kitchen for Easy Gamer Cooking, where we do simple, easy cooking that every gamer can do, and only takes them a few minutes to get everything going, prepped up, and then you can walk away, turn the timer on, and let it do its business without having to worry about it, without letting it burn. Right now we have our sweet potatoes in the oven, so technically, if we weren't sitting here on stream, we could walk away for about 30 minutes, play some video games, pick back up in the game where you're at. If you're doing PvP, you can do a couple rounds of PvP. If you're doing a story-based mission, you can probably do a story mission or two, depending on how long the story missions are. But it's a great, simple way to get yourself a nice, I don't want to sound corny, but a nice, nutritious diet without having to go out and go to the higher-end restaurants and spend a lot of money. You can go to the grocery store, spend $8, I wouldn't even say $8. The most expensive thing would be the pork chops, so you could probably spend $6 or $7 and get yourself 2 full plates of meat, 2 full plates of food for a really cheap, good price. Maybe Culver's, nice. Hey, Coyote Bliss, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Appreciate you stopping by. We're making dinner right now. We actually just got some food in the oven. I can go over that for you if you want. And we're going to be getting our proteins mixed up and our salsa and vegetables chopped up here in a little bit. It's really exciting and really fun. So I'm glad you tuned in. Hope you'll stick around. Excuse me. But yeah, I was thinking about maybe making some pierogies on stream today. Some nice pierogies and onions, and doing a nice sour cream and green onion topping for that. Maybe do some potatoes on the side, some hash browns, but I decided against it only because I had pierogies a couple days ago. So I don't like to have a whole bunch of stuff in the same week. I like to kind of spread it out and have a variety. Keep it so that every time I have it, it's still delicious and good. But yeah, we're gonna be making our pork chops, our garlic and pepper and rosemary pork chops. And from there, wrong button. From there, we're going to be making a pepper, jalapeno, tomato, and onion salsa to go over top with our marshmallow sweet potatoes. They're going to be delicious. We went to the falls. We went to Niagara Falls in Buffalo when we were up there. That was pretty good. But other than that, I was doing about 70 to 80 hours a week working, training the store, getting it ready to open, and we only had about 2 days off per week. So it was doing laundry, sleeping, and then you did a little bit of shopping if you had to do shopping or anything like that. I want to say we went, me and one of the other trainers, we went on like an expedition, and we went to this little town about 10 minutes outside of it. We were just driving around, but nothing too crazy. Everyone was telling us, oh, stay away from certain parts of town, it's pretty bad out here. I don't know, it didn't really seem anything too out of the ordinary or too crazy for me, so it didn't throw me off. Yeah, we'll probably give it about another maybe I wouldn't even say 5 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes for the pan heating up before we go ahead and pull out our pork chops out of the refrigerator, because we want to make sure we keep them cold until we bring them out and we're ready to cook with them. And we'll get the pan clear, clean that all out, and get it re-seasoned, ready to go. Just like your grandma's cast iron pan, she would have that still with a nice grease coating on it. She would never let you rinse it off, put water in it, or wash it, because you're taking away from the layers and layers of flavor that you baked on there from all the different stuff that you cook. Cast iron pans are a really, really great investment as long as you know what you're doing with them and know how to cook with them. But if you don't know what you're doing, you can ruin it, and it will be more of a pain in the ass than anything you really could have dealt with, or really wanted to deal with, more or less. I did Coyote. I appreciate it, but I'm gonna have to decline at this point. I appreciate the offer though, but I'm not at that point where I really need anyone for doing that right now. But yeah, Cheektowaga is a very nice neighborhood. And there were some sketchy areas, but I live in Cleveland, in the suburbs of Cleveland, and so it's really nothing too out of the ordinary. It all looked the same to me, if not better than some of the areas I went to. There was 2 funny incidents actually. A milk truck spilled over in front of our hotel, so it shut down the main street because it dumped just gallons of raw milk. And then the second incident was our hotel caught on fire. So at 7 in the morning, the alarms were going off because the building was on fire, and we had to run outside, and it was like probably, I don't know, 18 degrees or something like that. It was really, really cold, and so we just ran over and huddled in the McDonald's. It was pretty funny though. We finally got the all clear to go back in, and that incident really showed me I was not prepared for emergency scenarios, because I left all of my possessions in there. I grabbed a coat and I ran. I didn't grab my phone, my wallet, my keys, nothing. I was just an idiot about it. So it was kind of an eye-opening experience. It made me force myself to be more aware about what I was doing, because I don't want to be in emergency scenarios like that and not be prepared and not be aware and not sure of what to do. But yeah, Cheektowaga was very cool. It wasn't even. We went to a nice Polish restaurant that was up there. That was delicious. Oh, what hotel was it? I want to say it was the Courtyard Marriott, something like that. It wasn't like a big hotel. It was the generator from going on and off all night from the power surges from the storm caught on fire, and so it caught the bush on fire and the side of the building on fire. And I mean, in my opinion, it wasn't that bad. My reaction was pretty unnecessary to like leave all my stuff, but I did it, and I had to pay the consequences. I didn't get McDonald's for breakfast. I went to work, and yeah, it was pretty funny. But yeah, I was only there for another like day or two, so they put us up in another hotel. No big deal. Yes, the Polish Villa, delicious. It reminded me of being here at home, because my family is Polish, and we make a lot of our own Polish food. We make our own kielbasa, pierogies, stuffed peppers, a lot of our own breads, stuff like that, or stuffed cabbage, stuff like that. And it's really, really good. And yeah, it tasted like home. It was exactly what I needed, being away from home and not getting them home-cooked meals. I was very happy I found it. It was me and the other trainer. He was from Southern Ohio. there was like 3 or 4 of us from Ohio, and then the rest were from Pennsylvania, and then the other store, there's like 2 other stores in New York, and they brought a couple people from there. But it was really cool. It was definitely a nice variety of restaurants that you had the opportunity to go to and eat. Did some shopping. Wasn't too overpriced. Not what I thought it was going to be. Everyone was like, oh, it's going to be so expensive. It wasn't too bad at all. So I enjoyed myself. I'm glad I went. I think the pan should be ready. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to scoot back out of the chair. We're going to put the camera on the sink. And so you guys can see what I'm doing when I go ahead and say I'm scraping out the pan, and then we'll go ahead and re-season it and start cutting up the vegetables. And actually, we'll re-season it, let it get hot, cut up the vegetables, and then season the pork chops, marinate them, get them going. It's going to be a process, but it'll be easy. Almost dropped my chair. So, turn this webcam on. Turn that one off. As you can see, my container is in the sink. I'm going to go ahead. I got the pan nice and hot so that the grease and everything moves around without too much resistance. As you can kind of see, it's flowing. I'm just going to dump it into the pan and then wipe it out with a paper towel, washcloth, whatever you have handy that you're willing to pretty much ruin. Yes, I said ruin with grease, because once it's greasy, it's never going to go away. Now, why don't you pour this down the drain? Oh, I can't. I'm sorry. I was blocking the whole screen. Now, why wouldn't you pour this down the drain? If you pour this down the drain, it will cool off before it gets into the sewer. And so eventually your drains will fill up with grease, and then you'll have a super duper clog that you don't want to deal with. And it'll cost you a lot of money to call in the plumber to fix it, because they're going to have to change out your pipes, snake it, clear it, and do all that fun stuff. So, since we have the leftover sweet potatoes, what we're going to go ahead is I'm just going to pull out a container that I have in the cabinet, and we're going to go ahead and stick them in the refrigerator. You don't want to be wasteful. These can be used again. That's perfectly. And then these little nubs I'm just going to go ahead and throw away, because I won't use those for anything. You will have some scrap and some waste in doing this. You want to try and eliminate as much of that as possible by getting the right amount of produce, right amount of meat, stuff like that you're going to be using. Oh, I left there's some chunks of grease still in there, so I need to get the real scraper, the head honcho scraper. We're going to go ahead. Now, as you can see in the bottom, if you can kind of see right here, that excess layer, I'm just going to take a wooden spatula that has 3 grooves in it and scrape it down. It's nothing bad. Just burnt on grease and carbon that all you got to do is scrape off. And then you're good to go. Once that's clean and clear, even if there's a little bit in there, it won't do any damage to you. You just scrape, keep it in the bottom, and it'll run off with all the other grease. What we're going to do, now that the pan's heating up, is we're going to go ahead and recoat it with some cooking oil. I say coat generously and liberally, but you want to pretty much have the bottom of the pan coated with grease, free-flowing, so that you have extra running up, in case, because the meat that you're cooking with will absorb the grease that you have in the pan. So as that's heating up, I'm going to go ahead and pull out yet another container. I should probably pull out 2 or 3, I think. That might be a little bit smarter. Be prepared. I'd rather have to put them away later than not have enough now. I ain't got nothing moderately small, so we'll go ahead and deal with this. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to pull out my garlic, and I'm just going to peel it, try and peel it at least. Get that top layer, go all the way through. Eventually you'll start to feel the individual cloves, and they'll just start to break off. Oh god, camera angle off again. See, I'm rusty. Rusty, guys. And as the cloves break off, you just want to separate them. Put them off to the side. This is what we're after. These big hunks of garlic that we're going to be able to use And when we marinate our pork chops, when we lightly marinate them, because we're just going to coat them in oil and let them sit for about 5-10 minutes with some onion and pepper. And then at the same time, we're going to use garlic when we make our salsa. We're going to use a little bit of garlic in that when we saute it up. Oh no! That bad boy can go right there, and I think we might have enough here. So go ahead, just grab the excess debris, throw it away. I know I'm going to be cleaning it up later, so anything that falls on the floor, I'm not really worried about it right now. Hell yeah, definitely come back and check it out. We should be going for about another, I'd say 30 or 45 minutes, hopefully by 8 o'clock my time. That's roughly 45 minutes from now, we'll be eating. I'm getting pretty hungry. So yeah, definitely stop by and check it out. If not, check out the VOD. Send me a message. Let me know what you think. I definitely appreciate the feedback. But pull out the garlics. And what we're going to do is with the back of our knife, we're going to rinse off our knife. Sorry to get all up in the shot like that, just with a little bit of water. I'm going to grab a rag, a fresh, clean rag to wipe off the knife with. Have a nice, clean cutting surface. And move on from there. Take the knife on my cutting board, put the length of the blade on the garlic clove and just pound it. And with this one, pound it. Pound it. And what you're doing is you're breaking that garlic clove apart. You can peel that outer layer of skin off, because there is another smaller layer of skin on there, and you just get a burst of garlic aroma, which is exactly what you're after. Get garlic all over your fingers now. I don't mind garlic myself. It's delicious. I put pretty much garlic in everything I make. And yeah, I enjoy it. We're gonna go ahead and pop these other ones. There's 2 in there. Nice. 2 for 1. Feel my pan getting back up to temperature, which is a good thing. That's what I'm after. So rinse my fingers off. Holy garlic. That's some fresh stuff. Because garlic will sit and make your fingers really, really sticky. Even though it's really, really delicious. Pull out this extra container because I know we're going to need it. That'll be my pork chop pan. And all we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and just chop up the garlic finely. All you're doing is looking for a rocking motion with your knife, keeping the tip of the blade on it and rocking back and forth, just nicely mincing up the garlic. Now this could be prettier, but we're not in it for pretty. We're in it to eat. So if you're not trying to sell this, if you're not trying to make it into something that it's not supposed to be, you'll be absolutely fine. No one's going to judge you on the size of your garlics. Believe me. They'll just judge you on the way it tastes. So you better make sure it tastes good. And at the same time, the final product looks pretty but not ugly. We won't need it. So while we're going ahead and chop this up, did anyone in the chat see the new Star Wars? And what did you guys think? I saw it last week and I am absolutely hooked on it. It was awesome. I love talking about it. I love hearing people's opinions of it. A good buddy of mine at 30 and Still Gaming, he's a fellow Twitch streamer, so if you guys have a second, go check him out. Love playing the Star Wars Battlefront game with him. He has some good theories. They had a nice Gen X podcast. That's their podcast that they do, where they were talking about their theories and how they felt about the game and the movie. So I definitely say go give him a follow and go check him out, because he's definitely a go-to source for your Star Wars information, in my opinion. As you can see, we have a nice pile of garlic here. So all we're going to do is go ahead and scrape this in the container. Now we'll probably chop up this last one, and this will be enough for our marinade, because we want, since we're not going to be necessarily keeping all the marinade on there when we cook with it, the more garlic that we can put in there since it's chopped up, the better it will be. And who knows, we might not use it all, we'll just have a little bit for later when we make our salsa. So it's always better to have too much than not enough. But at the same time, know when you have way too much and you just need to step it down. Hey Turtle Tickles, what's happening? Yeah, I was getting ready to play some Mad Max and the fucking stream crashed. I was fucking pissed. I was having some OBS issues, so I ended up having to back out and try and reset everything. It looks like we're doing pretty good now, so... Hell yeah, what are you getting for lunch? I appreciate you stopping by. We're making some nice pork chops and marshmallow sweet potatoes. We have the sweet potatoes in the oven. They've been in for about roughly 20 minutes, give or take. I'm really bad. I'll just know by the smell. I'll be able to hear them and go in and check them out. But yeah, I would say 30 minutes. We'll pull them out, which will be about 7:30 my time. Yes, it's going to be delicious. And then on top of the marshmallow sweet potatoes and the pork chops, we're going to do a nice tomato and jalapeno and onion salsa to go over top of it. So it's a nice mix and a nice spicy feel. It's going to be nice and hot on a cold Cleveland day that I'm dealing with right now. It'll warm me right up. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to use red onion for the marinade with on the pork chop. Why red onion? Because red onion has a more abrupt, strong flavor for the marinade. At the same time, when you go to cook it, it will dull down, so it won't be too aggressive. I have a giant onion here because I got it from work. I won't lie to you, so I definitely don't need this whole onion right now. So I'm just going to go ahead and take a sliver off of it and put it back in here. Pumpkin ravioli. That sounds delicious. I love ravioli. You can do so much with it. Peel off the skin of your onion. You don't want to eat that. It'll be rough and a horrible texture. They come off really nice and easy. And hopefully this is the part where I don't start crying, because onions always make me cry. So as I got all the onion rings here, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to cut them up into dice them up. So I'm just going to do nice little tiny strips at first. Hopefully they won't get too crazy and they'll all stay in a nice little pile. It'll be completely manageable for when I come back across. Because as long as they stay in a pile and we take our time, all we gotta do is go right back across and we can get a nice small dice on them for what we're trying to do with them. You take your finger and wipe them off the blade, being very gentle. Sharp instrument is not a toy. What are the sad faces for? I'm going to go ahead and scoop some of this onion in here. See, that'll be plenty to put over top. We're going to go ahead and we'll dump this extra into this container because this is going to be our container that we use to put the salsa in. And now, I was debating on if I wanted to do it or not, but I think we are going to put a little bit of thyme in the marinade just because I love the flavor of thyme, and we're going to see how it works with this salsa. You know, I don't know. I haven't done it, but that is cooking, and it's an experiment. You try new things out and you see where it gets you from there. Ah, the onions. See, they actually didn't get me. I'm rather excited. They'll probably wait for me to start cooking up the, cutting up everything for the salsa and stuff, and then they'll kick me. You guys will see a grown man crying on stream. It'll be the new YouTube video. It'll be great. And I know, and it won't be like a good crying from like people being super duper nice. It'll be baby crying because you can't handle onions. So, see, nothing too crazy, nothing too aggressive. I know you guys can barely see that, but we got garlic in there, we got some green rosemary, and we got some nice white garlic. Or I'm sorry, red onion, white garlic, and some rosemary. I'm going to grab a spoon. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull the pork chops out of the refrigerator. Go ahead and unwrap them, because you guys really don't need to see that whole portion. You know how to unwrap pork chops. Boom. pork chops. Delicious, nutritious. Everyone loves them. Go ahead and split them apart. We're going to put them right into here. This is going to be the pan that we dump all the oil and the marinade and everything on. So, I'm just going to grab my big old jug of oil. We're going to dump a good amount of oil into this marinade. You want enough oil in there so everything floats and allows for you to mix it up. And then you're just going to pour it nice and evenly over top. And we're just going to let that sit for about 10 minutes. And the trick to getting that flavor in is what we're about to do now. And I forgot to grab it. I forgot to grab the master tool for infusing your food with flavor in the depth of the meat. A fork. All you do is you poke a few holes into it. Make sure you get everything all over it. All that delicious flavor everywhere. That's what it's there for. You want to kind of lift up the chops, let some of that stuff get underneath. Make sure all that flavor gets everywhere. You'll enjoy it. It'll be worth the time and effort that you put into it. We'll actually keep them here. Keep these. We're going to put them over here on the counter. Get rid of the big old jug of oil. Get rid of the excess rosemary. And one of the key ingredients in this marinade is we're going to use a little bit of the salt and pepper on top. After we have those in the marinade, then you salt and pepper once it's evenly distributed so that the salt and pepper can just rest and not be free flowing. Now you don't do too much because we're going to salt and pepper again before we go and put them onto the grill. Or not into the grill, into the pan, I'm sorry. I'm used to saying grill from work. See, Turtle Tickles is at it again. Remind you to never watch this when you're hungry. Well, that's the whole point. You're supposed to come in here hungry and then go out and want to cook this stuff. It's really, really simple food. You should be able to cook it too. Are you still in Hawaii or are you packed up and moved already? Pan's getting nice and hot. And we're only going to leave these sitting in here for about 5-10 minutes. Maybe not even that long, because a lot of this flavor is going to get transferred over when we go ahead and put them into the pan, and it's going to cook on there. So it's going to be real, real nice. It's going to create a nice smell profile. Not when you're stuck at work. I thought you were going to get food. But look at those pork chops. Look how delicious those look. I mean, you're telling me if you had someone over and you're like, hey, I'm going to cook you some dinner, and you whip this up real quick, they wouldn't be like, hey, this guy knows what he's talking about. He's not just bullshit. He's gonna have a great flavor profile. And then once you pull out the sweet potatoes, they're gonna be like, holy shit, look at him, he's creative as hell. He brings different spectrums to the table. And then with the salsa, oh, people are gonna think that you have a Hispanic influence in your cooking. You're just blending everything together like a professional. Around April 10th. Nice. Maryland or Virginia. Those are definitely some cool places. I can feel the pan, the heat resonating off the pan, and it is only set at 1, which is a very good sign. That means the pan is taking a lot of time to heat up, so it's consistently heated up. That's what we're looking for. I have this little pan over here because what we're going to do is when we open up our tomatoes and cut up our onion and our jalapeno and stuff like that to make our salsa, we're going to go ahead and saute that all up and get a nice heated, make it a nice hot salsa. Grabbing some instruments from behind the scenes. I need some tongs and a can opener. I'm just remembering everything that I forgot. The woes of not having done this for a while, let me tell you. And I keep moving everything out of the way for you guys. I don't know if you guys almost saw that, but I almost just cut my fingers off. Told you it was going to happen. Told you I was going to potentially fillet myself so bad on stream that I screwed you guys in half. Sweet potatoes, you can kind of start smelling them. They're starting to smell good. Delicious. I need chat input. Do we want to do some vegetables with this? Do we want to do a nice mixed vegetable medley? I think we might have something for that. I think we can pull this off. What do you guys think? Should we do it or no? I'm leaving it up to you guys. I'm a chatty Cathy. I love talking to people. I wish the whole chat was just spewing with people saying stuff at me so I could just be bouncing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But I appreciate you being here because it's hard as hell talking to no one. That's what I do generally when I stream those. I talk to no one and I keep repeating the same stuff over and over and over again. Makes me feel stupid. What are you gonna do? That's what you gotta endure to be in the game. Do I have vegetables? Did I fuck up and not buy vegetables? Nope, I did. Good shit. So what do you guys think? Do we want vegetables or no? We'll probably do. I got a nice can of mixed vegetables and a small can of corn, so extra corn we can mix in there. Give it a nice, well-balanced, nutritious meal. We'll probably salt and we'll butter those up. I hope I got butter. Shit. Oh, we got butter. Oh, do we got butter? But we'll probably butter and garlic those bad boys up. Since we got the fresh garlic, it'll be absolutely delicious. Oh yeah, we're doing it. Turtle Tickles made the decision. It's just gonna be a nice, well-rounded dinner. I mean, what can you say? This is what you're looking for. Ladies, I'm single, just so you know. You can message me on Twitch for any info. Just playing. Just joking, guys. But no, I don't know if you guys follow me on my Twitter or anything like that. You can check out the link down below. But I was talking yesterday how I need to evolve the stream and keep pushing and do different things because that is the name of the game. And I definitely want to start doing these cooking streams more because I definitely feel it's fun knowledge that I can share with everyone and you guys definitely will enjoy it and, you know, it'll serve and benefit everyone being able to do this stuff. Put that into the sink. We're going to actually go ahead and start chopping up the vegetables for the salsa. I'm not looking forward to cutting up these jalapenos because I have a cut on my finger. I'm going to get jalapeno juice in and it's going to piss me off. I already know it, but I'm still going to do it. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the top off. And the trick with jalapenos, the thing that's hot, is the seeds. So if you take your knife and gently split it, and kind of crack it, you should be able to split open the jalapeno like so. Now in doing this, gives you the opportunity, I'm not going to mess with that knife right now, to just rip out and gut out all these extra seeds. And get the flavor of the jalapeno, but not necessarily the heat. Now what I'm doing here is gently taking my knife and cutting out soft meat by running the knife along the hard surface and trimming it all out. Then what we'll end up doing after we do that is we're going to rinse out all these extra seeds. And the safe way to do this is you just spread out the backside with your fingers so it opens up. And you find your place with the knife and you just gently cut. Making sure not to get your fingers in the way. Taking your time. There is no rush. Not timing you. So just look bad if you cut your finger. Trust me. Now that they're all nice and gutted, you got 2 seeds to rinse out. So rinse these bad boys right on out there. And boom. We got the wonderful flavor of fresh jalapeno without the super duper heat from the seeds. And I myself love some fresh jalapeno. I actually think I might want to go with the bigger pan. I think we're just gonna, yeah. We're gonna need a bigger boat. We're gonna need a bigger boat. I mean, shit. Where am I gonna put Timmy the toaster? Freaking out over here. I ain't got the counter space. Trying to cut jalapeno very gently with a super duper sharp knife. Like fucking Mr. Rogers or some shit. Fucking Mr. Rogers busting out the sweater. Isn't it so fucking great? I know you guys can't see it right now, but I've come to terms with the fact that I think my streaming setup has grown to a little bit of ridiculous proportion with all the equipment and stuff that I have, and I'm rather excited about that. It's not a bad thing. But there's so much that goes wrong. Timmy the toaster, damn right. Talks and everything. Now what I did there is I just gently diced up the jalapeno. I'm going to go ahead and show you with this one so I can take a little bit more time with it, and I just want to get this one knocked out while we were talking about it. And no, that is not a knock on our good friend Glide. It was just Timmy the Toaster from the the old kid shows. So what I did is I'm taking the jalapeno lengthwise, and it'll be easier to cut it going lengthwise. And just gently slicing it into narrow strips, keeping my finger far away, but at the same time keeping it nice and still and keeping the jalapeno in one place. And then once they're in these nice strips, you go ahead and turn it, and we're just going to dice it up into nice, even cubes with this sexy, sexy saxophone playing in the background. I mean, come on, dude. That was some shit right there. I mean, everyone needs that in their stream. Sexy saxophone? Come on. The brave little toaster. I think we need a little bit more onion in there. That's what I think. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take another slice of onion off this big honking monster. Perfect. Doesn't matter if the slice isn't complete and whole, because it's just for the flavor. Then you go ahead, like you did earlier, peel off the outer layer. We're just going to start dicing it. Now what I did right there is I just turned it. Once I got to about all the onion being a long way, I made it easier to dice. Quick, easy trick. Just takes a little bit of practice with your knife and reading what you're cutting before you really want to attempt it, since you're playing with the knife. I'm going to be probably going for another 45 minutes to an hour. I'm hoping for this cooking stream to at least push maybe 2 hours, because I want to show. It takes a little while to cook it, but it's going to be worth it. Once you get everything going, it's really simple. I mean, honestly, if we weren't sitting here talking about it, having such a great time, this would have already been done. I would have had the sweet potatoes in long before now, ready to rock and roll. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to... Alright, go get some food. Hell yeah. No one's holding you here. I appreciate you stopping by and saying what's up. We had a good time. Good chat. And then if I'm not here cooking, I definitely, if my internet's not flaking out again, I definitely plan on trying to get back on and streaming some Mad Max, because I want to finish that game up, because there's a lot of titles coming out. And if you guys didn't hear, dude, Witcher 2, The Assassin of Kings, just became backwards compatible for Xbox One. We're playing it. At some point in time, we're playing it. I'm super pumped. I don't know when, but that is one of the reasons why we have to finish up games like Mad Max. I'm glad you're starving, Tickles, and I'm glad you're not settling for ordering a pizza so that you could sit here and watch me cook. Go get some real food. Get them pumpkin raviolis. That's what it's about. Take the knife again, just pop the garlic. Clap, 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 clap. Oh, might have to turn this up a little bit, guys. Oh, I like this sauce. NCS for the win. Dude, the garlic is intense right now. Gotta rinse it off my hands. Close up on my shirt. Shirt close up. Whoop whoop. Whew. Kind of burn. Just gonna go ahead and dice this garlic up. Chop, 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 chop. Chop, 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 chop. Right into the salsa. Now this might not be your conventional salsa, it probably isn't, but I call it a salsa just because it's going to go over top of the pork chops like a salsa would. Now what, these pork chops, they've been sitting for close to probably 10-15 minutes right now, maybe 10. I'm going to flip them real quick. Bring some of this onion and garlic stuff on top. And we're going to hit them with another quick dash of salt and pepper. And leave them sit for probably another 2 minutes, if that, because all we're going to do before we throw these bad boys into the hot pan that we got going is we're going to pull these sweet potatoes out, check on them and score them and see how they're doing. So hit them with a nice dash of salt and pepper. Back in, we're gonna check on with my fancy Dan oven mitt. Oh, they smell delicious. Now this is hot. I think I can't tell because I cooked and I'm used to doing something. I'm pretty sure that's hot. So you might not want to do it with your bare hands like I'm doing. But those look great. Absolutely great. You can kind of see them separating from the sides of the skin, letting you know that the soft meat on the inside is getting cooked. That's exactly what we're looking for. Nice. The orange is not so orange. It's a deeper orange. That nice glisten from all the natural oils and stuff coming out. We're going to rinse our knife off since we've been using it to cut vegetables and everything like that. Before we go ahead and score them. And all we're going to do is to score them, put the oven mitt back on, and run the knife just along the length of it. Oh yeah, these things are getting close to being done. Gonna cover back up. Now that we scored them, what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn the heat on the oven down drastically to 300, 310, 4F310. 310 sounds good right now. Why are we gonna lower the temperature on the oven? Because we don't want that outside getting burnt and that outside layer getting too crispy. We still want it to stay soft. So by turning the oven down, all that nice separation of that sweet inside meat should allow for it to finish cooking without burning. So the pan is nice and hot. I can tell that with our skillet. I'm going to bring it over, we can see. Nice and hot. Grease still sitting in there flowing nice and smooth like hot grease would. And this is where it gets dangerous, guys. We're going to go ahead. We're going to start our pork chops. All we're going to do, take the fork, stick them in right by the bone. Stick the fork in right by the bone, pick up your chop, place it into the hot pan. And if you want, like we're going to do, just dump that onion and garlic over top. The onion, garlic, and rosemary over top of it. And let it sit in there and take on that flavor. And notice, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but there's a low sizzle coming off of the pan because the pan isn't too aggressively hot and it's not too aggressively cold. So it's allowing for everything to, it's cooking the meat nice and slow, which is what you want, since we're going to be cooking other stuff along with it. Now, you won't need this yet, but I'm pulling out the plate, because if these decide to cook up, because there's a lot of grease in there, especially if there's two, then we need to be prepared. So we'll bring out our other things that we're going to cut out, our vegetables and such. Drain the juices out of those. You don't want the canning juice with it. So go ahead. Don't mind all the dishes and everything. Right? Part of the shindig. Crack open the mixed veg.
Invincible.
Go ahead and drain that out. Especially since we're going to be sauteing up the vegetable, you don't really want all that juice and moisture in there because it'll make it harder for the vegetables to saute up. You want a nice crispy vegetable. And a lot of people would be surprised that you'd be able to get a nice crispy vegetable out of a canned product like this. But all you got to do is just know what you're doing and be prepared and be ready. You got to watch what you're cooking, know how to cook it, and just be attentive. Gonna grab the butter. We need the butter. And I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves. Anyone who's just tuning in, I appreciate you guys stopping by. I'm gonna turn this on cam on for a minute. How's everyone doing? I'm gonna take a knee here for a second. My name is Fury. You are tuning into Fury's Kitchen. This is Easy Gamer Cooking. Cooking that you can do at home. Very simple, very easy, very delicious. And it will prevent you from always having to suffer through fast food all the time. It's a quick, simple meal that you could use anytime, any day, and it will impress your friends if you decide to cook it. And that's why I love cooking. It brings people together, and it's fun and easy. So the pan I got behind me is sizzling. I hear it behind me. For those of you tuning in, feel free to check out my links down below. I will be posting this video to my YouTube under the Easy Gamer Cooking selection. This is my first video back in probably about a month, so I'm a little bit nervous about it. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know I'm doing a little bit of weird rickety things right now, but what are you gonna do? But yeah, sit back, feel free to say what's up in chat, and yeah, have fun. But go ahead and turn this one back off and give us the full angle camera shot. So now that these are cooking, you can see a little bit of steam coming off the pan, I hope. Very slow rising, nothing too aggressive. We're going to go ahead and start our front pan heating up and our rear pan, because we're going to be sauteing up this other stuff. We need to check our tomatoes. We need to crack them open. Make it happen. Oh, this one's a hard one. Drain some of this juice out. There's a lot of juice. Lots of juice. Dump it into the pan with a container, and we're going to mix it up real quick. Show you guys the color of this. It's going to be great. You know what? Add it again, folks. Add it again. A little corn in there. How is that? Now tell me that doesn't look delicious. Tell me that doesn't look good. Come on. Beautiful. Beautiful color of it. Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so glad we decided to do that. Got our pans heating up. Both of them are at 4 on our electric stove so that they can heat up nice and slow and consistent without having to work too much. We have our everything drained. Vegetables are ready. I'm going to bring this over. this chair over and probably take a seat for a minute. Maybe get myself in there with it. And so, yeah, it looks really good. I'll probably end up draining some grease out the thing because I think I put a little bit too much in. That actually not grease, it's just cooking oil. But that should allow for a better cook. I think we might actually kind of be with the tradition of kind of be frying. Might. Oh no. We're not touching those, folks. We are not touching those. Those are beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. Oh, so happy with the way those are turned out. We got this nice salsa that's going to go over top. I think I might be outdoing myself on this one, guys. I don't know about you, but it's possible. It's possible and plausible that I might be stepping up my cooking game for my own personal benefit. I mean, if this is the comeback to Easy Gamer Cooking, then this is the way you come back. You do something great and delicious. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be real, real good. I appreciate all the new follows and all the new views that I got today from all you guys. I hope you guys are enjoying yourself. No, you don't need to see my dirty ass living room. I appreciate all the new views and follows that I got today. I appreciate you guys coming in and hanging out. Definitely check me out after this. We'll probably be taking I don't know, like a 30-45 minute break. I'll probably clean up in here and then we'll set everything back up in the game room, aka my living space. And we'll get ready to do some streaming of Mad Max. We're going to be running through Mad Max because there are a bunch of games coming out, launching expansions, new games, all that type of stuff that we want to be part of. What the fuck? Yeah. Hit that shit. What the fuck song is this? Oh. Can you feel it? I can feel it. They're cooking now. For the crowd. We're getting down. Freestyle. I don't know why. I'm just a pile. Bars, son. Bars. That's how we're doing it. Bars. I'm okay with it though. I'm okay with spitting bars. Ziploc Bob, how you doing, bud? Welcome to the stream. Did you just stop in and catch my freestyle with the beat that was going on? Oh shit, that's pretty funny. I appreciate you stopping by. We're making a nice Easy Gamer Cooking meal tonight. We got some nice garlic, pepper, onion, and rosemary pork chops cooking. And we have a nice jalapeno, onion, tomato, and corn salsa that we're going to make with some vegetables. It was random, but you got to keep yourself entertained, right? I mean, random is as random does, as Forrest Gump would probably say. No one's here with me, so I got to entertain myself. All my roommates are gone. They're at work, where I should probably be. Oh, the hands are nice and hot. They're ready, so we're going to go ahead and turn them down. I need to cut up some butter for the vegetables that we're making. I'm going to take my big old knife. Take a nice sliver of butter. That's probably going to be a lot of butter, but we do have that for right now. We can always add. You can always add. It just sucks trying to take away. No, that is not daylight. I just have all my lights on in the house so I get proper lighting so that you guys can see everything. Because I feel like when it's lit like this, it just looks a little bit drearier. And mind you, like, everything pops probably a little bit more. Not bad, but I mean, what do you think? Does it look better with the light on or off? I need your help, Ziploc Bob. Right now, I'm going to take these the nice salsa that we have. We're going to heat it up real quick. I'm going to dump it into my small saute pan that I have on here, non-stick saute pan. Oh, that sizzle. Just going to nice solid heat on that. Get all those flavors melded together. We'll season them with a little bit of salt and pepper. Salt and pepper, boom. On. See, that's what I'm saying. On is the way to go. Makes everything feel a little bit nicer, a little bit brighter, not so dreary. I think it's time to flip these pork chops. We've had them going for about 12 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and pick them up by the bone. Turn them over nicely. I'm going to lift up the pan here in a second so you guys can see. They're not burnt, they're a nice pale brown. Lets you know that they've been cooking nice, low and slow. Not too aggressive or overwhelming, and we're getting a nice even cook across it. The name of the game when cooking is low and slow. The faster you try and cook it, the more likely you are to burn it. Disperse that butter around on this nice medium saute pan that I got so that we can add the vegetables. Now, since we have butter in there, instead of using our whole, oh shit, I almost should pull that Ethernet cord. Instead of using whole garlic to add to the vegetables, because I feel like that might take a little bit longer to cook up than what we're wanting, I'm just going to take some garlic and oil, which you can get from your local grocery store. I get mine from work. And, yeah, I get mine from work. And we go ahead and we're going to throw that into the vegetables and give them a nice garlic flavor. All I'm going to do is go ahead and stir these up a little bit. Make sure everything's mixing around all nice and tasty. And you're probably trying to heat back up to 4 since everything's adjusted. We'll go ahead. We have our sweet potato mashed, sweet potatoes in the oven. I work at a steakhouse. Longhorn Steakhouse to be exact. I shouldn't have said that, but I said it. So now when they come searching for me, it's all your guys' fault. Bad soup using my marshmallow. Fucking crazy. Sons of bitches. Why do they always gotta use my stuff? Whatever. What are you gonna do? We'll make it happen. We'll make it. Oop, oop, oop. Oop, shit, boys. Shit. Is the game on? Oh yeah, we're game on. We got the good shit. We're not going to be able to do brown sugar over top because we ain't got it. So we'll do cinnamon sugar over our sweet potatoes and marshmallow. And it will be just as delicious. Not the Longhorn Steakhouse, please. I don't want to mention it because I don't want people going to the different locations expecting the same quality of food that I can deliver on stream and teaching them how to do it. They wouldn't like that. The salsa is smelling great over top. Our vegetables are starting to bubble and sizzle. We're going to go ahead. Where's the oven mitt? We're going to pull out the sweet potatoes. We're going to take a look at them. I actually need to clear off the area. Oh, delicious, right? I'm gonna get another. I keep getting spoons. Spoons are the tool of choice in restaurants. Let me tell you, spoons and rubber spatulas. I'm gonna get another spoon. I'm gonna see. Oh yeah. I can plow right through the meat of the sweet potato. This is exactly what we want. Now that we mashed them up a little bit, just like that, not too much, want to keep them still nice and delicious looking. We're going to go ahead and pull out the seasonings for these. So we're going to use a little bit of falling stuff. I'm going to pull out a little bit of nutmeg, like the tiniest amount of nutmeg. Nutmeg is very strong, very, very strong flavor. We're going to do a little bit of cinnamon. Oh, that's the wrong cinnamon, I think. What the fuck? I am kind of confused. But okay. Whatever you say, apparently. Oh, the cinnamon is gone. Now, if you guys can see, we got a lot of steam coming off our cooking point. That's why we got everything going nice and low, though, so that it can steam and cook, and us not have to worry about it. Here's the secret, guys. After we do the light layers of cinnamon and nutmeg, see, you can barely see them, just a little dab, a little sprinkle. We're gonna put some marshmallow in there, kind of pack them in there. Don't gotta worry about how much marshmallow you use. It cleans up relatively like a pain in the ass, but we're not worried about that right now. And then sprinkle some sugar. On each one. Now all of these, everything that I'm putting on top of here, you don't want to put too much on. But since you're doing layers, you want to still be able to taste the flavor of the sweet potato. But at the same time, you still want to taste delicious. And we're going to put nice little low sprinkling and cinnamon over top. So that's what we're looking at. Get an action shot, up close, personal. As you guys can see, all the seasoning on there, looking delicious. We'll go ahead and seal that back up, and we're going to put it back into the oven to finish melting, essentially, and cooking. Well, that's kind of warm. That's kind of warm, guys. Go ahead and stir all this up. If there was smell-o-vision, you guys would be so hungry right now. Let me tell you. Flicking vegetables everywhere. Not good. This is not what I wanted to have happen. My pork chops are looking nice and delicious. Go ahead and flip them. Like a crust off. You want to blind it. Show them to you guys. Look how nice those look. Just great. Absolutely great. They're almost done. I'd say they got about another 5 minutes on since we're cooking them so low. You want to make sure with all your meat that is cooked thoroughly through. In order to do that, you want to be able to touch it and try just taste it out. But you want to be able to touch it and have the meat not have any gift to it. That is the number one key, is not undercooking your meat or your food, because that will get you sick and lead to foodborne illnesses, stuff like that, E. coli, salmonella poisoning, all that type of shit. Same thing when you're looking at your vegetables, your canned products, you want to make sure that they aren't cracked, dented, broken open, anywhere like that. Because that will lead also to foodborne illnesses, botulism, stuff like that. All nasty, nasty things that you really don't want to deal with. We're about 10 minutes from eating, guys. What I'm going to do is I'm going to dump some of this grease out of this pan. I'm going to take my tongs, poke the pork chops, and just dump. keeping some grease still in there. We're making it so now the meat is resting firmly in the pan, no grease. And now it's just the final saute and cook. You guys might be thinking, what is he doing? These are delicious little fixings. Sauteed onion and garlic. With the rosemary. Oh man. So good. Vegetables are popping. The color on this is amazing. The smell off of it is amazing. It's going to go real good with these pork chops. I can already tell. So what do you guys think of it so far? Does it look good to you? Or no, you're not feeling it? You're not feeling it! I'm getting hungry. I'm bringing the plate up. This is gonna be where we're eating today. We're eating on the cutting board. We used to eat on the ledge that is behind me currently, but I think we're gonna do cutting board today. Everything's screwing me over right now. Especially Timmy. Goddamn toaster. Goddamn toaster. Gonna go ahead and flip my pork chops again. These bad boys are almost done. I give them 2 minutes top. Then go ahead and turn the salsa timer off. Or heat off, because that will cool down nicely. Go over top. The vegetables smell about done as well. Go ahead and turn those off too. You can just leave them sitting on the burner, and the excess heat from the burner will keep the pan nice and hot. After a little bit undercooked, when you turn it off, it will cook it up the rest of the way. So no need to fear. Don't mind the bum cake. It's how we drink around here. Mashed potato, the sweet potatoes smell delicious. Like, absolutely delicious. Like, pretty good song. Like the beat. So did anyone in chat see the new Star Wars movie? What did you guys think of the new Star Wars movie? I loved it. I thought it was great. So the food's the most important thing. Screw looking at me. I'm an ugly one. The food is where it's at. That's what you guys want to see. Hey, back to nowhere. Oh man. Just wait. It's going to be so good. It's super simple. The only reason it's taking me so long is because I got everything cooking low and slow for you guys to be able to see it and learn. But yeah, dude, it's all turning out so great. Let me go ahead and stir these vegetables up one more time. The well-rounded meal too, guys. Like, you gotta remember, we're getting all the food groups pretty much with this for a relative cheap price. We're not breaking the bank. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take a peek at these, but yeah, we're not breaking the bank. We're not going in debt for this. And you can do it too. I can hear the oven popping up. I swear to God it's gonna do it. I know it is. Oh, yep. Bingo! boys are back in town. This is something of my own creation. I sat down and thought about it, and I'm like, let's do it. You guys ready to see these sweet potatoes? You ready to see the sweet potatoes? Don't those look delicious? Oh wow. Great. Can't even get a good shot. There we go. Delicious. Super excited. Go ahead and turn these pork chops off. First thing we're going to do. The sweet potatoes. Look at how they just melt form. Just perfectly. Just kept its shape. Looks delicious. I mean, I'm thinking this pork chop back here. Let's go with this guy. That right there. Little salsa over top. Boom, 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 boom. Look at that. Tell me that doesn't look good, guys. I mean, shit. Like, tell me this doesn't look like a great meal that you go to a restaurant and get. But we just did it here in a home kitchen. Everything steaming hot, piping fresh. I mean, I'm digging it. First things first, I want some of this. Give me some of this. Holy hell, is that hot? But it's fucking delicious. Woo! Very, very hot. Oh, burning all the way down. You did good, Fury. You did good. Try some of this pork chop. Cooked all the way through, like desired. Wow, the layer of flavor. You started off getting that nice summery vegetable taste from all of the salsa and the topping. And then you chew it up and you get that garlic and rosemary and pepper. No flavor is too overpowering, too aggressive. Very nice, light. I mean, hell, you could do this salsa over chicken if you wanted. I'm not gonna lie, it's really awkward eating this low, cutting this high. I just cut the bone off. I know what they do. Let's get a little bit of vegetables. Vegetables. So good. But I mean, I I can't keep saying how good it is. Well, this is gonna be embarrassing. Nice, delicious pork chop. And I know for sure you guys could definitely make this at home. Back to where I was, I could definitely send you detailed instructions on how to make it. Because it's definitely not that hard. Super simple and super delicious. You'll definitely be impressing people. Oh, you won't burn your place to the ground. Low and slow is the way to do it. Hell, these vegetables turn out better than I thought. Go back to some sweet potato though. Still hot. Woo! Not napalm quality hot, but still hot. Notice how it just peels right out of that skin. Exactly what you're looking for. All the meat scrapes right out into your spoon, into your belly. You guys be shocked if I told you I never made this before. Yeah, I just thought about it all. I put it together in my head, thought it would be good and tried it. And that's what the hell I did. I've never made any of this. Never made it before in my life. It spins on recipes and stuff that I've seen. I mean, the salsa and the vegetables are pretty simple, but combining everything together, like the salsa and the pork chops and rosemary and stuff like that, that was all me. I think it turned out really good though. And probably, when I end the stream, I'll be finishing off this other pork chop. And these other sweet potatoes. Hopefully. Chewing on these bones. Yes, I said that. Chewing on these bones. That's what I want to do. So good. So, before we end the stream, does anybody have any questions or anything like that that you want me to answer? Any, looking for any cooking tips, any hints, any tricks, anything like that, please feel free to ask. I am more than willing to help or answer any questions. And even the salsa and vegetables, combine it all together. Oh. Yeah, I mean, they go great. $18 at a restaurant. We did it for about $6. If that. Not expensive. Not hard. It's not too overpowering. It's everything you're looking for from a good meal. But if nobody has any questions or anything like that, I think I'm probably going to end the stream here. So I can, a nice set of instructions would be good. Ingredient list 10, 6 times. I would definitely cook it if I had instructions. Well, here's what I'll do. When I post a video to YouTube, I will put an ingredient list underneath the description from YouTube. And then I will try and send me a Twitch message to remind me to link you the video with the ingredients so that you can make it. I can definitely even Twitch message you how to make it. It wouldn't be that hard at all. I just gotta remember to do it. And if I see a message, I'll remember. Cause I'm the king on my own throne, king on my own throne, my own throne. Maybe that's one thing I can work on setting up is like a slideshow of instructions underneath the kind of under the panels of the stream so that you guys could see it while I'm cooking it. That would definitely be something I could work on. But yeah, I appreciate the message. I appreciate everyone who came out, the new follows, all the views, everything like that. Check back with me in probably about an hour and 25 minutes, something like that. We should be streaming some video games, but I definitely appreciate you guys all coming out, checking me out, hanging out with me in the Truck Stop Kitchen, where we're cooking EZGAMERCOOKING all the time for you guys to be able to cook at home. So until next time, the convoy is cleaning up the kitchen, and we'll be pulling into the next truck stop soon. So check back, put to the pedal and light the fire.